Thank you for your interest in the Elite Hair Steamer. This video will cover how to set up, use, and troubleshoot the steamer. Before diving in, we want to mention that if you order the hair steamer, please hold on to your original packaging at least until you've tested all the functions of the steamer. Once you confirm everything is working properly, we recommend keeping the packaging for the duration of your warranty period. However, if you don't have space, it's fine to dispose of the packaging after you've tested all the functions. When you open the steamer, feel free to use a cutter, just do not cut too deeply into the box. The first thing to do is assemble the base. Take the 2 sets of legs and the little bag of parts. Open the bag and empty the contents. Take the 2 sets of legs and connect them like this. Then take the base centerpiece and affix it to the legs. Then take the long bolt with the washer and put it up through the hole at the center of the base. Grab the base pole and put it into the hole of the base centerpiece. Begin to tighten the bolt by hand. Once it's hand tight, you can use a wrench to snug it up. Make sure not to over tighten though. Now you can put the metal sliding bar into the base pole. Finally, you can put in the stopper. Next, you can take the steamer out of the box and put it onto the base. This bottle catches condensed water from inside the steamer dome. Make sure to put it into its place and tighten it until it's snug. Check and make sure that the water drain plug is tight on the steamer unit. To fill the top container, unscrew the nozzle first. Inside the nozzle, check to make sure that the rubber O-ring is seated well inside. If the O-ring is missing or not seated well, the top container could leak. Make sure to use distilled water with this steamer. Once you put your distilled water in the container, screw the nozzle back on firmly, but not too tightly. Follow the next step exactly. When you put the container into its spot, make sure you do it quickly like this. There's a small container inside the steamer that fills up. Once the bubbles stop appearing, you know the container inside is full. If you let water flow in like this, the small container inside will fill up and overflow. Then water will leak from your steamer. It works like a water cooler. Even though the container down here might just hold 2 gallons, you can put a 6-gallon jug on top without any leaking. But if you lift the jug and let water pour in, the water in the cooler will start to overflow. If water is leaking from your steamer, there are 2 likely reasons. Either the O-ring in the nozzle is missing or not seated properly, or the container inside filled and overflowed because the top container was not put on quickly. If it's leaking, we recommend emptying out all the water by removing the drain plug. Once it's empty, put the drain plug back on and tighten it. Refill the clear top container, double check the O-ring in the nozzle, and then attach the nozzle firmly. Put the top container into its spot quickly like this. Once the bubbles stop appearing, you know that the container inside is full. Once you've got water in the steamer, you can turn it on by rotating the 60-minute timer. Please note that if the timer is at 0, the steamer will turn off. There are 2 heat settings. Flip one switch for medium and flip the second switch for high heat. In about 10 minutes, steam will be coming out of the dome. Make sure when you're using the steamer that you have the dome angled up like this. This allows for the condensed water to drain back and into the bottle here. If the dome is flat right over the client's head, the condensed water could drip onto the client. If it gets too hot inside the dome, you can use the vent to cool it down some. At the end of the day, please empty the excess water from your steamer by loosening the drain plug. Once it's empty, you can screw the drain plug back into place. Also, keep an eye on this bottle and empty it out regularly. Make sure to put it back in its place before using the steamer again. You'll need to clean the steamer periodically. When you notice that steamer performance has gone down, you know that there is some mineral buildup inside and it needs to be cleaned. To clean the steamer, first empty the water by removing the drain plug. Once it's empty, put the drain plug back and tighten it. Next, put white vinegar and water into the top container. The ratio of water to vinegar is 5 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Screw on the nozzle and put the top container into its place like this. Turn on the timer of the steamer and the 2 switches. Wait about 10 minutes until steam starts to come out. Once it starts coming out, let it run for about 10 minutes. This will allow the vinegar water to run through and clean all the parts of the steamer. After it's run for about 10 minutes, you can turn the steamer off. Empty all the vinegar water from the steamer. Then replace the drain plug and tighten it. Rinse the top container out thoroughly, then fill the top container with clear distilled water. Screw on the nozzle and put the top container into its place like this. Turn on the timer of the steamer and the 2 switches. Wait about 10 minutes until steam starts to come out. Once it starts coming out, let it run for about 10 minutes. This will flush out any vinegar that was still inside the steamer. Now the steamer is sparkling clean, ready for the next treatment. If the steamer is plugged in, the timer is greater than 0, and you have the switches turned on but the steamer will not turn on, it could mean that the fuse is bad. Before checking the fuse, make sure that the unit is unplugged. Then find the fuse next to the power cord here and remove it with a flathead screwdriver. Inspect the fuse. If the metal inside is broken or melted, it will need to be replaced. Replace the fuse with another of the same rating. If you don't know what the fuse's rating is, you can take it to a hardware store and they will be able to find you a replacement. If the fuse is fine but the steamer will not heat up the water, it could mean that the water sensor inside is not sensing the water. Some brands of distilled water might not get recognized by the sensor, so we recommend trying a different brand of distilled water. If another brand of distilled water doesn't solve the problem, we recommend trying with regular tap water. That should get recognized by the water sensor and the steamer should run fine. If tap water also doesn't work, you can give us a call and we can troubleshoot further with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about the Elite Hair Steamer. You are now ready to use and take care of it for many years to come.